When you're winning a fight, people refer to it as kicking ass. There are no kicks in Jiu-Jitsu. Do you guys say you guys are grabbing ass? Like squeezing ass?
That's the armbar. This is Josh Melendez. He's an IBJJF tournament winner, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt, and youth instructor here at the Dojo NYC in Brooklyn, New York. Today, we're sending in our reporter to see how long he can last on the mat and if he can get an interview in the process.
I think he's a good guy, dude. I think he's like a really good role model for kids, you know what I mean?
You ever thought about being a role model for kids?
This isn't about me.
This is Man on the Mat.
Do you prefer to wrestle in or out of your pajamas? Always in the pajamas. Okay, what if I sleep naked?
Tell my boss I tried this time, Caleb.
You teach the kids class here? I did. We talked about what's the smallest child you've choked?
I do it to break some of your kids. I think my kids will take you out, dude.
You gonna say anything?
I just need a minute.
What's the largest kid you think? Yeah, I know.
And can you not smoke in my
I can't
car?
have one thing. I can't have one thing.
Where's the aspiration for being a teacher come from?
Just when I first started out the sport, I really admired the coaches that I started with, in terms of the way they would handle different people's body types, ailments. One of my arms is smaller than my right arm. I have what's called Poland syndrome.
Yeah.
And so it affects the way I grip or I would do jiu-jitsu, and the coaches, I always thought it was so cool how they were able to just figure it out for me. They're like, oh, your arm's like this, then that means you just grip this way instead of that way, and then I still had the same success.
You ever had a student who has a similar setup to you, or?
Yeah, just recently actually, I did a mini Jiu-Jitsu 101 workshop with a good friend of mine, and we had somebody show up whose left arm, I'm not sure the actual medical terminology, but he suffered paralysis in his left arm. He wasn't born that way. He had an accident. And he described it as his nerves being unplugged from his arm.
Oh, wow.
So lost mobility, could still use his hand. But because of that, there's certain things like posting. Obviously, you're using one of your arms. So he has a sling that he keeps his arm strapped to his body while he rolls. So we had to modify the way he off balances to get people to post in order to have more success with triangles. Because his legs are now the strongest
part of
attribute you would have in jiu-jitsu. Because if you can only use one arm, that means the rest of your body has to kind of pick up the slack for that. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to show him this is what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Do you enjoy making those modifications for people?
I do. Yeah, I do. I there's something about just explaining to somebody why don't you try this grip instead, and they try, and then the whole world seems to open up for them in jiu-jitsu. And that's a big, that just feels like a big achievement for me.
So you do a lot of work with children. Is there a specific reason you like teaching kids? Or does it come more naturally to you than teaching adults?
The patience to teach kids, because I'm the oldest of 6 kids. Stuff. So I have 4 sisters and a brother, and they're all very tough, people.
Wow.
So.
You ever practice rolling on your sisters?
Oh yeah, I try, man.
So you're okay with beating up women?
Next thing I knew was gonna get me.
Do we ever sneeze in your face while doing this?
Oh, you ever get squeezed so hard you fart?
Yeah. Mostly the kids I teach.
Do you say bless you? Do you have time to say bless you?
You just say bless you and keep going.
So you once described jiu-jitsu as the great equalizer. But that's the same thing my uncle said about his 12-gauge shotgun. Which one of you is correct?
I think we're both correct.
Thank you for being gentle about that. Shout out to Sheath Underwear, use code MOTM. 20% off your first order.
Thanks so much, man. That was really fun.
That was great.
I don't know how he teaches kids. I feel like I didn't learn anything during that.